The Nintendo Wii. This thing didn't just waggle its way into our homes, but also debatably into our hearts, along with potentially various other places as well. It's also 14 years old now, which debatably makes it retro. Or if not retro, at the very least old enough that you can't buy one at GameStop.
The Wii is also very weird, and I wanted to talk about this, and I wanted to crash Jamie's channel to do so.
I mean, I guess that's what friends are for, right?
I just keep you around so we can play Wii music. You're the only one I know who has a copy.
Oh. Well, anyways, I'm Jamie.
And I'm Sky from SkkyStreams.
And this is Stuff We Play, home of everything weird and retro. Today's video, the Nintendo Wii was weird. A listicle extravaganza.
Number 1, Wii Play. Now you might be thinking, how can an average reviewed game that everyone owned with 9 minigames be on this list? Well, it may surprise you that Wii Play is one of the best-selling Wii games of all time, with over 28.2 million copies sold. The game has won multiple bestseller awards and is currently number 37 on the best-selling games of all time list. Now most games with 9 minigames on them would typically flop and just go under the rug. But the reason for Wii Play's groundbreaking sales was its inclusion of a Wii Remote. Back in the day, a straight-up Wii Remote would cost you about $40, but with the Wii Remote and Wii Play bundle, it would cost about $50, just $10 more. People bought the Wii Play and Wii Remote bundle as they thought they were getting a better deal. Just a game for $10? Who could turn that down? This genius marketing strategy is what caused Wii Play to be one of the best-selling games of all time.
Number 2. The Japanese Food Channel. The food delivery channel was only available in Japan. It was a very early version of something like DoorDash or Uber Eats. The food delivery channel would have a wide selection of food from a multitude of restaurants which you could order and have delivered straight to your house. The Wii app even had a special roulette mode, which would randomly select a dish from a random restaurant in your area which you could use multiple times. You could order a huge variety of food ranging from pizza, sushi, fish, sandwiches, which I guess includes both sushi and fish since, you know, sushi includes fish, but you get the point. The app would eventually be discontinued by Nintendo on March 31st, 2017.
Weird Wii Accessories. It had many popular games that have become staples of its success. This includes such classics like Wii Sports and Bass Pro Shops, The Strike, which came with its own fishing pole. Hundreds of Wii accessories made, ranging from sports equipment to guns to actual babies. Other Wii accessories that have been made include the Raymond Raving Rabbit's plunger gun, the Wii bowling ball, the Wii Macas, the Wii wheel, gun, Wii kitchenware, Wii Wheel 2, Wii Nintendo 64 controller, Wii saxophone, and many more.
Number 4. The Netflix Wii Disc. Now, today's video isn't so much a list of stuff that you probably don't know about, but just stuff that we find to be weird and cool. That's also Wii related. And nothing fits that bill better than the Netflix Wii Disc. Now, Netflix did not start out as the popular streaming service that continuously raised its prices on us every year that we all know and kind of tolerate today. It used to be a DVD on-demand service, which delivered DVDs right to your door. Kind of like DoorDash, am I right? Damn, I'm hungry. Netflix decided to release special discs that were compatible with the Nintendo Wii. These discs would give you access to Netflix's streaming service without all the hassle of having to return multiple DVDs. It worked kind of like how Netflix does nowadays, except instead of using it as an app, you had to use an actual disc in your Wii. And the Netflix app itself was later made available on the Wii, though it doesn't work nowadays.
Number 5. Wii games that got sequels on the Wii U. Many of the popular Wii titles would eventually get sequels on the Wii's successor, the Wii U. Wii Sports, Wii Fit, and many other original Wii games being downloadable or compatible with the Wii U, while Wii Fit U would add a pedometer to its package. What is up with Nintendo and fucking step counters?
Number 6. The Last Wii Game. The last game released on this glorious console in July 2020. A new game was released in 2020 for a console from 2006. And if you think that's crazy, just wait until you learn about the Dreamcast homebrew scene. But anyways, Shakedown Hawaii was released on the Nintendo Wii on July 9th and is only available in Australia, Asia, and Europe unless you know an importer. Shakedown Hawaii was also released on the PlayStation 3 during 2019, making it one of the last games released on both of these systems. The last Wii game to be released in North America, however, was Just Dance 2020. So if you need a rest from this year, break out the Wii and just dance to your heart's content.
Number 7. Call of Duty on the Wii. And its awful, awful controls. Call of Duty is one of the most popular first-person shooter franchises out there. And back in the day, Activision said, hey, what if we added some sick motion controls? That would totally work! And ported 5 Call of Duties to the Nintendo Wii. A controller and nunchuck to shoot guns that were designed to be used on a keyboard and mouse or a two-handed controller was disorienting and hard to aim correctly. When the remotes were hooked up to the Wii gun, it made the game a little bit easier to play, but even then the screen was constantly shaking, aiming was still difficult, and the enemies were harder to see due to the low graphical performance of the Wii. Most of the gameplay was just shooting a barrage of bullets and hoping for the best, as perks that had to do with aiming were obsolete due to the motion controls. It all around was just terrible. Why are you playing this game? Go play fucking Angry Birds. Yeah, Angry Birds. Remember Angry Birds? Yeah, Angry Birds.
How's it going, y'all? Jamie here for the final part of this video. And for those new to the channel, hi, this is what my face looks like. Now, as we can see here on my PC, we have a copy of Pokémon Battle Revolution running via Dolphin. And before someone from Nintendo tries to send me a cease and desist, it's running off a real disc. I own an actual copy of this game. So here's the cool thing about the Dolphin emulator. You can actually hook up a Wiimote to your PC and play games using that. Which is cool, but as you can see, or perhaps not, I don't know, I'm doing this off the cuff. The buttons are working, but there's no actual pointer on the screen. You can't actually see anything on the screen. And that's a problem. Now there's 2 ways you can actually get a Wiimote to work with Dolphin. Well, 3. You could buy a USB sensor bar, or you could plug in a Wii, like an actual Wii, and just use the sensor bar from that, but not actually use the Wii and still play your game via emulation. That just seems kind of pointless. At that point, why not just play the game on an actual Wii? Now, what I'm about to show you is a method for getting a Wiimote pointer to work that doesn't just work with Dolphin, but that also works on real hardware. See, if you don't have a sensor bar in hand, you just need 2 candles. That's right, candles. What the Wiimote pointer is looking for, what the sensor is looking for, is just a light source. Some sort of light source. To go the extra step, these candles I got from my local Great Canadian Dollar store are scented. So I'm looking forward for this honey scented? It smells kind of like honey to me. There we go. So now that we have those candles lit, let's see, and boom! I am not making this up, it works. It just works. Here, let me zoom in on that screen for y'all. As the Lord Todd Howard says, it just works.
Wait, 8? I thought there were only 7 of these.
Yeah, well, my video. Anyways, I'd like to end this off with an anecdote. When I got my Wii, I only had 2 games for it for the first few months. These were Wii Sports, which was classic, and Sonic and the Secret Rings. And I'd just like to take a moment to say, Sonic and the Secret Rings was bad. It's a Sonic game where everything relies on motion controls, jumping, moving, everything! I mean, sure, some of this was fixed and made actually kind of playable in the later Sonic and the Black Knight, but not even a cool Arabian Nights themed setting was enough to make Sonic and the Secret Rings any good. I mean, yeah, it had a cool development name, what was it, Sonic Wildfire? But, yeah, Sonic Wildfire, more like Sonic Dumpster Fire, am I right?
If you know more weird facts about the Wii, please leave them in the comments below. I'm SkkyStreams, and you can follow my socials here, and maybe up here. But I hope to be creating more content in the future. I'll also be streaming a lot more than uploading to YouTube, so check that out here.
And of course, I'm Jamie, and you should definitely go follow Skky on some of their socials. I'd also like to thank some of our patrons on Patreon for supporting the channel, especially as any and all support means a ton right now, especially as I recently quit making videos for a rather large game-focused outlet. So with that, thank you very much for watching, stay classy, and I'll see you next time!